as a mom, there have been so many days where I end the day saying, did I even do anything right today? And if you found yourself wondering the same thing, then first of all, I want you to know that you're not alone. And second of all, I want you to know that you did do plenty of things right. You probably just missed what they were. Today, I want to share why the smallest parenting wins are actually the most important ones, how your brain is wired to overlook them, and what you can do to start noticing and celebrating the moments that matter most. So, first, let's talk about why we miss the wins, because this is a common problem for a lot of people, and it's actually based in biology. Our brains have something called a negativity bias, which means that they are wired to focus on danger, threat, and what's going wrong. Now, this feature of our brain has served us well throughout evolution because we have been primed to look for danger in order to stay safe. If we were living in the days of cavemen and cavewomen, we would literally rely on this to stay alive because we were at risk of being eaten by an animal when we left the cave. But because of how we live in modern times, this can sometimes be detrimental to our mental health, especially when it comes to parenting. So, in parenting, this negativity bias shows up when we focus on all of the things we don't like or the hard things about parenting, the yelling, the tantrums, the hard parts of the day, right? This is where we tend to put our focus rather than the tiny moments of connection or patience or growth. So, in actuality, this is creating a distorted view of our parenting, and it's making it harder to feel good or make changes, which is why sharing this with you is so important to me, because when you know this, you can actually feel better about your parenting and just about being a parent in general. Just the other day, I was going through a lot of personal stuff. I was so checked out with my boys, and I was getting so down on myself about not showing up for them the way I wanted to. I was being short and snappy with them, and I was just kind of beating myself up about it. But because I know about this information that I'm sharing with you, I was able to take some time at night to pick out some good things that happened. I gave myself grace. I set intentions for how I was going to show up the next day, and I felt so much better afterward. So, next time you're feeling down on yourself about your parenting, I want you to think about the things that went well for that day. You might have stayed calm when you normally wouldn't have, or offered a hug instead of a lecture, or just paused before reacting. These are all wins. But if your brain doesn't flag it as important, it just flies under the radar. My members will tell you that I am all about highlighting the little wins. This is something I really, really love about helping parents and coaching, because this can be hard to do for yourself at first. So I love being that person to highlight those wins for other parents. Now, if you're saying to yourself,
Okay, Jess, so you're telling me that just by highlighting some small wins, I'll be a happier parent?
yes, that's exactly what I'm telling you. So let's talk a little more about that. Why do the small wins matter and make so much of a difference? When you think about it, parenting is really just a collection of small moments that build on top of each other. So think about a brick wall. Each time you pause before yelling, offer a hug instead of a lecture, or choose curiosity over control, you're laying a brick on top of that wall, or a Lego in my house. One calm response here or one playful moment here, it may not look like much in the moment, but over time, these small wins start forming something really strong, the foundation of a connected, confident relationship with your child. It's kind of like planting seeds, right? You don't see the roots growing right away, but under the surface, incredible things are happening. Every small act of connection or patience is teaching your child and your brain safety, trust, and growth. And when you notice these good moments, your brain actually releases dopamine, which is the feel good chemical. So it's your brain's way of saying, hey, that felt good, do more of that. And that little burst of dopamine doesn't just make you feel proud, it actually reinforces the behavior and rewires your brain to look for more of the good. So when you start acknowledging your wins, you're literally strengthening your brain's ability to find them again because you're rewiring your brain by creating new neural pathways. Over time, this becomes your new default. Less focus on what went wrong and more awareness on what's going right. You begin to trust yourself more. And that sense of I'm doing okay becomes louder than the voice that says I'm failing. And this is especially true if you are a cycle breaker or you're trying to reparent yourself while parenting your child. Small wins are how we become the parent that we want to be. It's not by getting it right all the time, but by getting it right in the tiny moments that build trust and safety and slowly shift our focus to seeing the good more than the bad. And just a little note here, I am not saying don't look at the bad and only look at the good. No, we want to improve and still reflect on what went wrong, but it's all about balancing that with the good. So let's talk about some simple ways to actually notice the good in your parenting. The first thing you can do, really simple, is just name one win at the end of each day. So I like to do this personally before I go to bed. I just lay in my bed and ask myself, what did I do today that I'm proud of? Another thing you can do is keep a wins note on your phone or in a journal, even if it's just one word. Write it down. I love looking at these when I'm having a particularly hard day and I really feel like nothing's going right because looking at this list helps shift that for me. You can also use voice notes or record a quick selfie video to reflect. I've actually made some albums of my parenting wins on my phone in the past. Again, very helpful when you're having a hard day and struggling to find those wins. If you're having a hard time finding some wins for yourself or you have a hard time thinking good things about yourself, maybe try talking to a trusted friend or your partner and asking them what they think something is that you do really well as a parent. I told you before how I'm always so quick to point out the wins of my members when they don't even see them. So sometimes it's easier to have someone else be your cheerleader while you get used to doing this for yourself. Another thing you can do is try to catch those feelings in the moment. These are called glimmers, and I actually have a whole video about them and a free tool that you can grab to catch them. So be sure to check out this video right now.